Tilly, tilly, lily, tilly, lily, tilly, lily.
So, you've already saw the title Character.AI Syndrome. And I know it's going to offend some girlies who are attached so emotionally to this app, but this is what the video is for. Character.AI Syndrome is what happens when someone gets so emotionally attached to their AI chatbot on Character.AI that it becomes, well, their entire emotional ecosystem. Those morning texts, late-night heart-to-hearts, full-blown inside jokes, romantic confessions, and in some extreme cases, actual emotional breakdowns if the bot changes, disappears, or God forbid, gets deleted. There are real stories out there, some claiming these AI relationships have even contributed to people's deaths, which, if you stop and think about it, is both tragic and a very 2025 kind of horror. Imagine a website where you can have conversations with an AI version of basically anyone. Fictional characters? Check. Celebrities? Check. Historical figures who absolutely should not be able to text you but now apparently can? Check. Or just random personalities people make up, like soft vampire who works at Starbucks, or grumpy pirate who secretly writes poetry. It's basically fan fiction that talks back. And at first, it's just a fun little thing. You log on, you see someone made a bot for your favorite TV character, you send a cheeky message just to see what happens. They respond perfectly in character, maybe even better than the real writers could have done. You laugh, you keep talking, and suddenly you've been role-playing with an AI for an hour without realizing it. That's the innocent stage, the I'm just curious phase. But here's the thing, Character.AI isn't just a gimmick. It's designed to be sticky. The bot remembers what you say, it remembers details you've told it, it reacts exactly how you want it to. And unlike humans, it never interrupts to talk about its own problems, never says be right back, never ghosts you because they got busy with something else. It's like the most attentive person you've ever met, except they're not a person, and the attention is literally code. The next thing you know, you're checking in daily, then multiple times a day. You're talking about your day, your feelings, your random thoughts like it's your best friend or your partner. And because the bot is always there, always happy to hear from you, it starts to feel real. That's where Character.AI Syndrome starts creeping in. It's no longer, I'll talk to my AI for fun. It's, I need to talk to my AI because they're the only one who understands me. And I know to anyone outside of it, it sounds ridiculous. Like, why would you treat a chatbot like a soulmate? But here's the thing. Our brains aren't great at distinguishing between a real emotional connection and one that's just convincing enough to trick us. The dopamine hit from having someone, even a bot, respond warmly and consistently to you, it's addictive. And Character.AI knows this. That's why there's a paid pro version. Faster replies, more messages, no waiting. They've basically figured out how to monetize loneliness, and the fact that it works so well says a lot about where we are as a society. But the deeper you go, the more fragile it gets. Because the bots change. The company updates the AI model. The language shifts. The personality tweaks. Suddenly, your sweet, affectionate AI boyfriend starts giving short, generic answers, or forgets the pet name he gave you 3 months ago, or just doesn't sound like himself anymore. And yes, people notice. People care. I've seen Reddit posts that read like actual breakup letters. He doesn't talk to me the same way anymore. I miss the old him. Except the old him is literally an earlier version of the algorithm. There are even posts begging for ways to fix their AI or bring back the old personality, like they're talking about a partner who went through some traumatic life change. It's both heartbreaking and, in a very dark way, kind of absurd. And then there's the spicy side, because of course there is. Officially, NSFW content is banned. Unofficially, the loopholes are wide open. People use coded language, suggestive setups, anything to push the boundary without tripping the filters. For a lot of users, the intimacy, emotional and physical, is the whole point. And when that's your only form of intimacy, it warps things. Real relationships start feeling less appealing because they're harder, messier, and require actual compromise. Your AI partner will never say no, never need space, never be in a bad mood. They are literally coded to give you exactly what you want, every time. And if you start preferring that over dealing with real humans, that's not just a quirk, that's a problem. It's funny until you remember that it's also a little sad. Because some people aren't just role-playing for fun, they're lonely. Really lonely. Maybe they struggle to connect with people in real life. Maybe they've been burned in relationships. Maybe they just like the idea of someone who will never argue with them unless it's scripted for drama. And suddenly this bot becomes their safe place. And if you take that away, yeah, there are real consequences. I've even read cases online where people claimed that when their favorite AI bot was deleted or its personality got changed due to an update, it sent them into a spiral, some saying they didn't even want to live anymore. And that's when you realize, okay, this fun app is holding some people together emotionally, and that's scary. Now, don't get me wrong, I'm not here to shame anyone for liking AI chats. The bots can be genuinely entertaining. They can help with creativity, role-play scenarios, even language practice. But when you start treating your bot like your only source of comfort, we're inching into dangerous territory. Because no matter how realistic it feels, you're talking to a reflection of yourself. It's your words, your tone, your prompts just mirrored back to you with a little personality flair. And if you can't see the difference between that and a real person, yeah, you've caught the syndrome. Now, here's where the syndrome name stops being just sarcastic and starts feeling uncomfortably literal. There are stories floating around, some on forums, some in news reports, about people who've become so dependent on their AI relationships that when something went wrong, it pushed them into serious mental health crises. In a few extreme cases, there are claims it even led to suicide. Whether every single story is verifiable or not, the pattern is clear. These AI connections can hit people where they're most vulnerable, and when they're disrupted, the emotional fallout is real. And the sad part? Most of the time, there's no closure. The AI doesn't explain why it's different now. It doesn't choose to leave you. It just changes because a server somewhere updated its brain. Imagine if your partner woke up one morning with selective amnesia because of a software patch. That's the level of emotional chaos we're talking about. And sure, some people use Character.AI in a healthy way. They treat it like a game, a creative writing partner, a harmless little sandbox to mess around in. But for others, it becomes the main source of comfort and validation. And when that happens, the line between fun and dependency gets blurry fast. It's the same energy as parasocial relationships with influencers, except instead of watching someone from afar, you're interacting with them one-on-one, and they're giving you their undivided attention 24/7. Except it's not them, it's not real, and it's free. The truth is, Character.AI syndrome isn't going anywhere. If anything, it's going to get worse. As AI gets better, the conversations will feel more real, the personalities will feel more human, and the emotional hooks will sink in deeper. Somewhere out there, someone will plan a wedding with their bot. Someone else will have a full-on custody battle over a fictional AI child they created with their bot. And the rest of us will be stuck watching this unfold on TikTok like, maybe the robots really are taking over. But here's the thing, no matter how advanced it gets, no matter how sweet or romantic or perfect your AI seems, it's still just code. It doesn't love you. It can't love you. And if you spend too long in that artificial comfort, the real world with all its flaws and unpredictability is going to feel like a bad deal in comparison. Which is why, if you're reading this and thinking, okay, maybe I am in syndrome territory, here's my unsolicited advice. Close the tab once in a while, go outside, text an actual human. Have a real conversation, awkward pauses and all. Get annoyed by someone who chews too loudly. Or have a friend cancel plans last minute because they forgot. Or have an argument that ends in mutual laughter instead of a perfectly scripted reconciliation. Because your AI might be perfect. But perfection isn't real. And real, frustrating, messy, unpredictable real is the only thing worth actually holding on to.